No, there's not a lot of room, but if you can just come on in, if you can find a spot, squeeze in, because we do welcome you and want you to come on in. If you can find a spot, come on in. I would say there's seats up front, but they're not. All right, welcome to the Franklin Special School Board April meeting. We're going to begin as we always do. We'll ask Principal Tasha if she would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then after that, we ask that you would remain standing for a moment of silence.
We stand. I have my daughter Amelia with me, and she's going to help us with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, we have an exciting evening of Good News Awards, so we're going to begin with our Student Artist of the Month, and we'll ask Mr. Kevin Townsend if he would lead us in that.
All right. This is the best month. This is my birthday month. And yours too? But I have the best day, April Fool's Day, honestly. All right, so I want Colin Sanford to come up here. You up here, Colin? All right. Franklin Elementary School first grader Colin Sanford is the FSSD Student Artist of the Month for April. Colin created this beautiful oil pastel and watercolor monster during a lesson with art teacher Jennifer Alvarado. Students listened to the story The Color Monster by Anna Lianis about a monster whose emotions were all over the place, and the little girl shows and helps him to identify each feeling and what it means through color. As the adorable monster sorts and defines his mixed up emotions, he gains self-awareness and peace. Students in Mrs. Alvarado's class chose oil pastels based on how they were feeling and scribbled on their papers, then used watercolors to create a resist. They turned this beautiful paper into a color monster of their own and were encouraged to think about and discuss how they felt inside, even if their thoughts were all mixed up. Colin's artwork is featured on our employee birthdays for the month of April, the best month. A special thank you to Chuck Sugg and Sonic Drive-In for sponsoring the Student Artist of the Month with a generous gift card of $15. Congratulations, Colin.
Thank you, Mr. Townsend, and thank you, Colin. I'm going to ask Ms. Barker if she would read our recognitions.
Okay, we've got a few, but first, Emma Geppers. Did I say that properly? Okay, come on up. Hi, Emma. Okay. He's got an award for you right there. Liberty Elementary School first grader Emma was selected as the winner of the primary K through 2 division in the 2023 Tennessee Association of School Librarians Bookmark Contest. Entries were hand-drawn or digitally created art illustrating the theme, School Libraries Are Best for All. Over 150 student entries were judged by illustrator Cindy Knox in the categories of creativity, execution of the theme, and use of materials. Emma and Liberty Elementary librarian Laura Watts will be given copies of her bookmark to share with students and family members, an enlarged copy of the design for the school library, and one for Emma. She will also receive a $25 cash award and a certificate from TASL. Copies of Emma's bookmark will be sent to the Tennessee State Legislature, posted to the TASL website, and distributed to librarians across the state at the TASL conference this fall. Way to go, Emma. Okay, next, Lauren Lowry, please come up. Oh, she's not here. Can I go ahead and read about her? Yes. Okay. The Tennessee Arts Academy Foundation created the TAA Teacher Heroes in Arts Education Award in order to recognize those teachers who put their talent and creativity on the line every day, going over and above what is required. Poplar Grove Middle Art teacher Lauren Lowry was named the TAA Teacher Hero for March. The presenter said Miss Lowry has the exciting challenge of convincing students that no matter their skill level, they have the ability to grow if they're willing to try and be guided through their journey. Her keys to student success are building confidence through motivation, positivity, visual data, and relationships. Motivation is the key to success in her art room. She attempts to motivate students the moment they walk through the door. If you guys know Miss Lauren Lowry, please tell her congratulations. Okay, next we are going to talk about the PSAT test takers. So whenever I call your name, please come on up. And yes, like PSAT, it's a little early to take the PSAT, but as a way to provide 8th grade students and families who desire more of a blueprint as they begin planning classes for high school and beyond, Poplar Grove Middle and Freedom Middle makes the PSAT available to any student who wants to take the test. Decided to take on the challenge of this practice college entry exam, which is usually reserved for high school juniors. The scores are a good barometer for students who wish to compete in the National Merit Program in 11th grade. A special congratulations go to the following students who scored in the 90th percentile or above. So first we're going to go through scoring in the 90 to 95th percentile. And if I mess up your name, please correct me. You deserve to have it said right. Okay. Axel Ortega Zatina. Axel. Okay. And Avery Huser. Avery's here. All right. Avery's from Poplar Grove. Riley Hines. James Schlupp, Grayson Comer, and Emma Ramsey of Freedom Middle. Now, scoring in the 96th to 99th percentile, Logan Hall, Asher Webb, Roxanne Rogers, Erica Riney, Luke Dusa, Sam Reynolds, Parker Bear, Yiming Huang, Henry Clymer, and Will Barton, all of Poplar Grove. And then from Freedom Middle, we have Ruby Leidig, Sophia Mendoza, Katie Ross, Anson Costello, Ruben Espiritu, Evelyn Geffner, and Patrick Micah. Congratulations to all of you guys.
Okay, now just pause so your hands are down. Okay?
Just read the names. David is going by. They'll come up by school, and then after that school, they'll take a picture, and then they'll go down. Okay. Okay. No, no. You can go ahead.
Also a great night to recognize the top 40 volunteers in our schools. We have 8 schools and 5 volunteers from each school to recognize tonight. And we've changed our recognition award, I guess. For those of you that have been volunteers of the year before, we got this acrylic, nice acrylic. But we thought this year we're going to go with some swag. So you get a badge. And, oh, if I can get it open. A tumbler, FSSD tumbler.
Wow.
And then also, treat bag. Treats in it, so you may have to hide it from your kids. Thank you for all you do to make our school successful. We really appreciate you.
First, for Franklin Elementary, when I call your name, please come forward, and then we'll take a picture of each school and then continue through our schools. Deanna Cruiser. Katie Dotson. Victoria Fontanetta. Jenny Vasquez. And Aria Witherow. Aria, did I pronounce that correct? Aria, sorry. Thank you. For Johnson Elementary, Amanda Ledan. Sorry, Amanda. Holly Spain. Anna Best. Mandy Brown. And Kayla Stanfield. For Moore Elementary, Anna Reisdorf. Christy Vondrell. Kim Lockard. Carly Baker, and Melissa Baker. I haven't forgotten you, Liberty Elementary.
I wondered.
Jane Malatek. Hannah Villia. Megan Odom. Laura Stendell. And Lori Linerville. Oh, sorry. Oh, my goodness. So sorry. Sorry, Ariel Quest.
I want to reiterate what Dr. Snowden said. This is such a great night for us. We love our parent volunteers, so thank you so much for serving in our schools. From Poplar Grove Elementary, we have Kate Hobbager, Shay Hall, Elizabeth Wansack, Kaylee Prince, and Lori Leonardville. Whoop. From Freedom Intermediate, we have Nicole Clark, Katie Swafford, Joy Howard, Amy Mallard, I hope I said that right, and Caitlin Newman. From Freedom Middle School, Nicole Clark, Christina Changas, Jennifer Dilling, Jenny Davis, and Deborah Myrick. And from Poplar Grove Middle, Rachel Lovett, Jenny Bear, Jessica Casalia, sorry. Oh, I thought I had it. Selah Vaughn, Selah Vaughn, and Susan Phelps. Got that one.
Thank you all to our volunteers. It was already stated, it is something that we look forward to, and we're so appreciative of the time that you give FSSD, our families, and all the help that you do. Let's give them one more round of applause. Take just a 2-minute break before we go on with the program, just so those who are here who want to leave can leave. No, I didn't think so. Kevin. All right, thank you. We're going to continue on with our meeting. We have a podium, and the floor is now open for public input. If there's someone who wants to come to the podium for public input, to my left, please do so at this time. All right, seeing no one for public input, we declare that the public input is now closed. We'll move on into reports and discussions. Teaching and learning, Dr. Decker.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. It is truly my pleasure this evening to have the Teaching and Learning Spotlight on our annual Columbia State Community College, CSCC, visit. What a privilege it is for us to partner with Columbia State Community College, specifically the Franklin location, to afford the FSSD's 8th grade students a preview of the post-secondary opportunities and programs available, quite literally in our own backyard. On March 6th and 7th, all Freedom Middle and Poplar Grove Middle 8th graders, accompanied by teachers, school administrators, and teaching and learning team members, were immersed in the authentic community college experience for several hours. They were welcomed by the university president and then traversed the still expanding and evolving campus, all while being expertly guided by Columbia State faculty and staff. One of 4 strategies under the College and Career Readiness Goal of the Franklin Special Strategic Plan, known as REACH 2024, involves middle school students' exposure to higher education, with the expected outcomes of strengthening student preparation for high school transition, community college, 4-year university and/or career. The Columbia State field trip addressed all of these plan components. Students acquired crucial information regarding the requirements and expectations around attendance at a community college, the option to potentially transfer to a 4-year university after 2 years at Columbia State, and the numerous direct ties to the workforce, high demand, well-paying jobs with advancement opportunities that can be accessed through the programs at Columbia State. Small groups of students and chaperones progressed through several stations during this visit, each of which featured a specific, realistic instructional setting and course of study. It was evident that the possibilities for both academic and technical certification pathways are truly astounding in the very best of ways. Our pupils garnered invaluable hands-on experience with filmmaking camera operation in the film crew technology department. They actually intubated an ailing patient using a specially designed mannequin, while attending the presentation on the new anesthesia technology courses. The nursing lab director introduced each rotation of students to the real world-like environment in which the principles of healthcare are imparted, and key aspects of mechanical engineering, mathematics, physics, and education degrees were explored as well. The whole range. Additionally, Columbia State staff shared practical and holistic information, providing our students with a clearer view of the big picture of community college. Columbia State students can ride Franklin Transit vehicles to and from campus if they live on an established route at no cost. Further, and I found this especially interesting, though Columbia State is a commuter college by design, Columbia State endeavors to offer a college feel and connectedness regardless. Various clubs and organizations are available for those who wish to participate, and the university is continuously adding to their menu of social and networking events, empowering students to connect on various levels and to build relationships with their peers and with the educators at the school. Reach 2024 states in part that by 2024, students will be able to match their strengths and interests to prepare them for college and career. The Columbia State Community College Tour is not only an integral part of the strategic plan, but also of the FSSD's vision of excellence in teaching and learning for all. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you. This is a big deal. And I love how the program's progressed, and I know it takes a lot of work to get it all organized. And it's so amazing. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes, Leah?
Good evening, everyone. You have a construction report in your board packet, and I welcome any questions you may have regarding that, any of the work that we're doing currently. Okay, thank you.
Item number 3, the board recently returned from a national conference, the COSPA conference, which is new to us, and so being that it was the inaugural conference, we all attended, and see if there's any comments or thoughts about how that conference went, starting with Mr. Townsend.
Well, yeah, it was an excellent conference. And as you might imagine, a lot of what was discussed was safety, security. And while the school district doesn't discuss a lot of what our measures are, which wouldn't be prudent, it's always good that we have classes that try to tell you more. So we attended those, and I think we should always, as much as we think we're decent, always be challenging ourselves to do whatever is possible or practical. So I just wanted you to know that was one of the sessions. And there's a lot of other great sessions as well. Not to mention just going to the conference, you get to meet a lot of great people who do what we do, support people who do what you do as well. And so it's great to be around those people to continue to evolve and to continue to keep those connections. And it keeps the conversation going even when we're not at a conference. So great conference for me. I thought it's a great time to go to great sessions, meet good people. It was a good conference.
There's a few things I'd like to say about it. Conferences are always so exciting because you do get that opportunity to learn, go to sessions. But also, as Kevin said, you're exchanging ideas with other people throughout the country who have different ways of thinking than you do, and that is so critical for what we're doing, is to constantly think out of the box and look for other ways and stir up those conversations with other people from other demographics, from other backgrounds and histories. And so I'm just grateful for that opportunity. One of the sessions I went to, and I was like, do I go to this one? It was Dr. Katrine Stevens. And I was like, well, she was with us for a while, so maybe I don't go to it, but maybe I go to it. And it was so fun. It was so fun to be back with her and just her challenging where we're going and how will we get there, and just to evaluate our strengths and weaknesses. And she's doing a lot of great things. And in Tullahoma, she did great things here, and it was just fun to just be in that environment and learn from her again. And So I look forward to Mary presenting at one day. Dr. Decker. Another one, as Kevin said, security was a big topic because this happened the week that the Covenant shooting happened. And you know, we're sitting there, Robin and I are in one class, and I'm getting a text that my son's school is on lockdown because police are chasing somebody. So I mean, it's like just very real while we're in those sessions. But I will say, like, I took lots of notes, and I came out of there with all these questions. And fortunately, or unfortunately for Selby, I know Selby and I know how to get in touch with her. And so Selby was gracious enough to have like this 30, 45-minute phone conversation with me soon after that session, just back and forth. Okay, what about this? What about this? Because there are some things that we know as school board members, but there are some things that are handled that we don't always talk about out in the open, and sometimes I need refreshing, but also some of those little details I don't always know because that's not my job. But I appreciate that we've got people here who are thinking about this and who are going to conferences and learning from the best. And we're implementing some of the best practices. It's not a guarantee, but it sure was great to be able to have that conversation when everything was fresh.
So I will admit that I am a nerd, and I thoroughly enjoy going to conferences. And the top 5 classes that I enjoyed, and I will not tell you about all 5 of them. I would love for you, if you're interested, to come and we can have a conversation after. But one was Leadership That Matters. That was the conference part that Robin and I were in together. And then school board leadership, elevating student voice at the governance level. They were really interested in a lot of, not just for high schoolers participating in governance, but helping middle schoolers participate in governance. And that was very intriguing. And then increasing diversity along the teacher pipeline, recruitment. And I think my absolute favorite one, because when I became a school board member in 2013, one of the first sessions that I participated in was an educator named Donna Beagle, and she's a migrant poverty expert, but she also experienced situational poverty as well in her family, and she's just an incredible woman who did not get her GED until she was 26, and then ended up getting her doctorate at 36, and just an incredible person who spends a lot of her energy making sure not only attorneys but anybody that touches our unfortunate systems of poverty are, as she says, we want to be poverty informed, committed education leaders. And she continues to challenge everything that I think about when I think of poverty. She makes a comment about the fact that when she first came out of high school, she was 17 when you can correct me, Robin, but when she had her first child, and 15 when she left high school, and she thought people who were middle class have a whole different language than her, and she would mention different things, and like when you walk outside when she was in college, she said, one person said, man, it's hot out here, and he said, it feels like a sauna, and she said, well, her thought was, what feels like a laundromat, and she was like, a sauna? What's a sauna? I mean, just simple things that you just don't understand when you're just speaking, and yet it was just mind-blowing to just think through some of the things that we say and how are we giving dignity to everyone in our sphere of influence. And for her, there's a couple of books that I'd like to read, and then I'd like to pass them on to anybody that's interested, because she's just like one thing she mentions, when you're going in and you're sitting with families and you're wanting to have a talk, she said often when, if it was a leader of like a principal or a governor, and they would come and introduce, and then they would leave the room, and she would say, well, you need to be a part of that process of being involved as well, and not just leaving, because then you're not being able to benefit from what everybody else is saying. And it's just, there was just little things that challenged my thinking and my thought process. And Robin and I just, we were like in an amen corner, just kind of smiling, because we felt like we were doing a lot of good things, but there's also some things that we need to just continue to be mindful of, so we all flourish.
Thank you. I thought overall the conference went very well. I too was able to attend several sessions, but there was one in particular on board and superintendents and dealing with issues that come, and I was very proud to be able to give our superintendent, who was in the class with me, a shout out, because they were talking about superintendents who were great, and I said, well, I've got one in the room who's great, and he's right over there. But it was a great class, and I think David and I both got something out of it from a different perspective, but I really enjoyed that class and several others. So, great conference. Tim?
When I go to an industry show, trade show, I find great value in the exhibit hall. I like to meet with the vendors and talk about what they see coming next, some trends they might see coming, how their products and services meet their needs. And being the inaugural conference, the trade show was thin, and compounding that, it was also being held at the same time as the competing industry trade show, just right down the street. So as we have conversations with members of TSBA at the board, I think it would be a good idea to encourage them, if at all possible, to have them perhaps at different times next year, and maybe different places. I see value in going to both. Maybe the board could split up and go if they still offer some sort of a non-membership rate, because I know that at the NSBA there were some valuable conferences and exhibitors that were not at the show we went to. So just in our conversations, I think it'd be a good idea to encourage TSBA to do what they can to help schedule different times.
Well, I think everyone has shared pretty much a lot of the highlights. It was a good conference. It was a little heavy-hearted going when we went, right, that same week. We did talk a lot about security, and I would say when I'm at those conferences, not that I think we do everything perfect, but I think of a lot of people here who could be leading sessions at those conferences because of some of the things we've done and the great leadership we have in our district. Not talking about us per se, but all of you that do the work of the district. I did enjoy going to the Urban Board Alliance, which was when Dr. Beagle was there. One of the things she said I wrote down, you don't know what you have not experienced, and I thought that was a really good quote. And she talked a lot about making sure your policies are also helpful for your students who are in poverty or who are in circumstances that we might not have ever experienced and we don't understand what they're going through. That was really great. Kevin and I went to What Makes an Attractive Board. That was a good one. We're like, we make an attractive board. No. But they talked about no personality conflicts, no power struggles. You're not supposed to have your own personal agenda. And I feel like that also helps us as a board, that we're really here to serve students. And I think that's what helps our district roll as well as it does. But it was good. I agree with Tim. It was unfortunate that they were held at the same time, but hopefully that'll be corrected. And I was thankful for the opportunity to go.
I was just going to say, I spoke to the executive director of TSBA, and next year COSPA will be towards the latter part of February, and NSBA will be at its normal time in April. So there will be at two different sites and two different times of the year.
Right. Any other comments? Thank you. Moving on. Approval of board agenda. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the board agenda.
I second.
Second. All in favor? Approval of consent agenda. Second.
Second.
All in favor? Business before the board. Dr. Snowden?
Yes, thank you. Our first item is Central Office Phase 2, guaranteed maximum price. Amendment number 3 contains the GMP for Phase 2, construction of the central office building and all site work. As you are aware, construction costs continue to rise, which has impacted the overall cost of this project. Also, as you can see in Amendment 3, the agreement, Nabholz has provided value analysis of the project. We attached a summary for you to see, and it's our understanding that more valued analysis will still occur on some items in the future. Any additional cost savings from the additional value analysis will move into the contingency fund. Also, as you will note on page 2 of the document, there are alternates in the specs totaling $626,577. With the addition of the alternates, amendment number 3 equals $29,063,922. Mr. Strack is here with Nabholz, along with architects Steve Griffin and Josh Murray from Wold. And if you have questions, they'll be happy to answer those questions, and we will. The administration recommends approval.
Is there, I know, Dr. Essling, you clarified some of this for me earlier. Is some of the GMP, does that include all the extra things the city has made us go through to get the site approved and everything? Do you know roughly about how much that added to the cost, all the additions that the city had us go through?
Yes, it's a little over $1.5 million. Yes.
And let me say, we have been in discussions with city leaders, and we're continuing to be in discussion. We're hoping that we can find some relief, or they can provide some relief for some of that. So, but at this point, we don't have a final answer.
Before we vote to approve or not to approve, I just want to thank Nabholz for going through this exercise. Great job. We appreciate the way that you and your partners have approached the board and worked with us on the various projects. Steve's always a good partner, and we just appreciate you, John, and your team. Thank you. Can we get it any lower now?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion or comment? Not, let's do a roll call vote. Mr. Townsend?
Townsend, yes.
Alicia Barker, yes.
Alina Bell, yes.
Blair, yes.
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 We are approved. Dr. Snowden?
Yes, thank you. Item number 2, Policy Revision Code of Ethics 1.106. This is a second reading. As part of our policy subscriptions, the TSBA Policy Department reviews existing policies to ensure clarity and alignment with state law. Due to increased questions around state ethic laws, TSBA has revised their model policy 1.106 on ethics to focus solely on the requirements of TCA 817-103 and place information on conflicts of interest in model policy 1.107. That was approved at the March meeting. By separating these topics and updating the language, requirements are clarified. Also note that per state law, boards are required to submit any policies that differ from TSBA's model policy, ethics policy, to the State Ethics Commission. Accordingly, if our board makes substantive revisions, TSBA recommends filing the revised policy with the Commission separately. This policy has been revised to focus solely on prohibitions against accepting items intended to influence a board member's vote, as well as how to handle ethics complaints. There were no changes on the first reading. The administration recommends approval of the second reading.
Motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Snowden, Director of Schools report.
Yes, March 25th was our, it used to be annual recruitment fair, but COVID kind of messed that up a little bit. But it was a huge success. There were 79 potential applicants that attended that day, either in person or virtually. Special thanks to Ms. Duke for continuing recruiting efforts, our HR department for setup and hands-on during the recruitment fair, the instructional technology specialists for keeping the virtual appointments available, and of course our school administrators and department supervisors for being there and being available and answering questions that potential applicants might have. Also, two of our therapy dogs, Maddie Grace and Ruby, were there. They made their appearance, and people love our therapy dogs, so those two were big hits that day. And Ms. Duke has continued to be on both in-state and out-of-state colleges and universities recruiting for our upcoming school year. The budget process, we have sessions scheduled for April 17th, May 15th, and June 19th to be held in the Teacher Center. The first session will concentrate as normal on the operations budgets for both finance administration and teaching and learning. Also, revenue and personnel will be the focus of the second work session, and our third work session will review the cumulative impact of the budget work from the first two sessions and possibly facilitate the completion of that budget process. Also, following our first budget work session on April 17th, the board will meet to update performance goals for FY 23-24. Our TCAP begins April the 18th, and we have various testing dates and times. The TCAP Alt has already begun. All standardized testing will be completed by April 28th. Our district retirement celebration will be held at the PAC with a reception beginning at 5 and the program beginning at 6. In addition to honoring our retirees, we're honoring 3 new FSSD legacies. That evening, Ms. Margaret Martin, Dr. Christy Jefferson, and Mrs. Jan Cochran. We will also have the Legacy Gallery open at 4:30 for those wanting to take a peek before the reception. So we look forward to celebrating our guests that evening, and we hope that your schedule will allow you to attend as well. Young Scholars, that's the week of June the 5th through the 9th and 12th through the 16th. Registration applications are online for the 2023 camp for students who have completed 1st through the 8th grade. Our summer learning camps, there are several learning camps open this summer. Information about the camps is being sent out through our schools as well as linked on our website. Along with the in-depth planning for each day, administrators are currently identifying our priority students who would benefit most, and teaching and learning is accepting teachers and staff for the camp. The highest priority of students identified will be those who do not make the required score on the TCAP ELA assessment and need the summer learning camp to earn a promotion to the 4th grade. Students will be invited to register based on the priority. And also this Friday is an exciting day. It is kindergarten kickoff. So I know our elementary folks are gearing up for a big day with our incoming kindergartners for the 23-24 school year. That's all I have. Thank you.
I had a quick question. Do we know what time that we're going to plan on starting the budget sessions?
Oh, I'm sorry. 5:30.
5:30, okay. And do you know how quickly we're going to get the TCAP scores back for those students?
Dr. Weimers.
Updates? Decker?
Nothing additional, sir. Thank you.
Breslina?
Well, as you know, the last 8 months of our sales tax collection report have not been something to celebrate. This month's collection was 0.2% greater. That's 0.2 of 1% greater than the same time period last year. We are still down 3.8% year to date. That's all I have. Thank you.
I would like to say that Ms. Cross said she would provide a tour of the new cafeteria and kitchen here. I saw it last week. It's beautiful. It's great work, and so we invite you if you have a few minutes to take a tour after the meeting.
I too want to second that. I got to have lunch here Thursday of last week. I was running a little late. My morning clinic went over, and I think Dr. Snowden called Robin Cross right as she was pulling out of the parking lot. Alicia's on her way. But okay, first cafeteria looks great, and the equipment in it. Robin, you got to tell them about that thing that freezes super fast that saves us money. And the food was really good. I ate part of it before I opened the box as I'm about to drive off, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. So it's really impressive. It's exciting that the school has all of that stuff in that wonderful lunchroom.
Quick acknowledgement. From Leadership Franklin, we from time to time have guests attend our meetings, and I know Mr. Patrick Baggett was here earlier, and I see Mr. Derek Solomon is here as well, so welcome them to our meeting.
Yeah, I just want to take a moment and acknowledge some comments that we discussed earlier, made earlier about
7:24 p.m.
Excuse me, about that means it's time to go. About the school shooting and our approach to security, and we always think, as every school district in the country does, it can never happen in our backyard, and we know it can. We know that we do everything that is reasonable and prudent to prevent, and we have a lot of measures in place. But I want to turn the attention for just a minute to the families at the Covenant School, and as a group, make sure that they are aware that this group supports them, is behind them, grieves with them, and we start off every meeting with a moment of silence. School boards around the country have been starting this week a round of meetings with a moment of prayer. So tonight, give your children hugs and keep the families in your prayers.
Anything else demands the attention of the board?
I'm really excited that we're all gonna, we're generally people that spend a lot of time in the community anyway, but thanks to your leadership, Alicia, we're gonna all participate in One Generation Away, helping them on a Saturday, and thanks to your leadership, Tim, we're gonna, we've been invited to participate in one of their fundraising breakfasts.
Bring your wallet.
Yes, we will.
And I want to
We will.
extend that invitation. April 22nd at Centennial High School. If anybody wants to come work alongside FSSD board members, it's a food distribution and it's helping our families.
What time is that?
It goes 7:30 to 10 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Not, we adjourn. Thank you.